At Laffey, Bucci, DeAndrea, Reich, and Ryan, we go out of our way to ensure that the client feels like they are part of the process in their journey to trying to become whole. The compensation represents a multitude of things to them personally. But there's also a psychological component to it where the clients recognize that compensation means it's a victory. At the other side is recognizing they did something wrong because they're paying for it. The most impactful case that I worked on is that I represented an 80-year-old woman that was unfortunately killed when crossing the street by a garbage truck, even though she did not have a traditional family as far as next of kin or spouse. I was able to effectuate a multi-million-dollar settlement. After a long fight of trying to convince the insurance company that this woman's life mattered, this value validated that she had meaning in life and that she had a purpose and that she was able to touch other people.
The area in law in which I focus within this firm is representing survivors of physical and sexual violence, as well as bullying and hazing. The most impactful case that I've worked on in this firm was a case that involved one of the most horrific acts of violence, sexual abuse, assault individual children went through when attending a particular boarding school called Miracle Meadows. We have very proudly represented over 72 survivors of this particular boarding school, some of whom are still in active litigation. Working with each of those survivors, figuring out their needs, figuring out how to achieve the best result for them, we have been able to achieve $117 million in settlements for these children. Results like this show other children who have survived also horrific acts of violence, abuse, and assault that if they hire the right law firm, they can get justice. They can have their voices heard, they can be believed, and they can get the justice they never thought they would ever be able to obtain.
Results aren't just about money for our clients. It's about changing the law, it's about accountability. It's most of the time about taking the power back and being heard.
Some of the most impactful work that we've had the opportunity to do are cases involving massage businesses. We've recovered well over $50 million against businesses that offer massages to customers, where customers come in thinking that they're going to get a restful and relaxing experience and ultimately are sexually assaulted. At the end of the day, when an individual decides that they want to pursue a civil lawsuit, what they want is justice. There are some people out there that see justice simply as a dollar amount. That's incredibly important in any case. But what we also do for our clients, and importantly with our clients, is not just gain results that have a huge financial impact in their lives, but also allow them the opportunity to help other survivors that have come in the past or that may come in the future.
One of the most impactful cases that I worked on is a case that Jeff and I handled together. We represented a young man who, in the course of his work, was climbing up a ladder and a scaffold. He encountered a hazard that caused him to fall over 20 feet and suffer absolutely catastrophic brain injuries. Jeff and I were able to recover $50 million to help take care of him for the rest of his life.
From my perspective, the most impactful case I handled to date in my career was the Mike Sullivan matter. Mike was injured when he fell through a defective scaffold. The Supreme Court of Pennsylvania took it up. I'm proud of that Sullivan case because not only did we set Mike and his family up with an award that exceeded $3 million, the impact of that journey that we took with Mr. Sullivan not only benefited Mr. Sullivan and his family, but has benefited and protected future people in Pennsylvania and in Pennsylvania courts. There's way more to results. It's making sure that the client walks away from this feeling as though they were humanized, attaching their ship to ours in such a way where they felt heard, they felt respected. That comes with dedication to them. That's what separates Laffey Bucci from most of the pack, and it's that journey of our firm. That is the result.